Good morning, ladybugs. Today, as I was saying yesterday, we're going to talk briefly about the parts of a flower and then do a little bit of watercolor painting, and maybe I can give you some ideas to do after that, okay? So first, I have a great book that if we were at school, I would read to you. It's called Plant. And it's all about great plants, all different kinds of plants. And this page is a plant is born. Okay, so when a plant is born, as we know, we have a little seed, like the seeds we planted the other day. All the food for the plant is in that seed. So maybe the wind blows the seed, or maybe it is planted in the dirt, and the seed starts to make roots. And we've seen those roots, haven't we, when we've been digging in our sand and we see the big redwood tree roots that are so fun to look at. So then after a while, it might be a couple of weeks, the plant develops roots down that go down into the soil, and then the little seed starts sprouting, the stem and the leaves. And every day, with the right amount of water and sunshine, the plant will grow, and it will grow taller with more leaves, just like you guys grow every day. Your plant is born. Then, if it's a flowering plant, it might be a fruit plant or a flower, you have your little flower bud right there. And every day the bud gets bigger and bigger, and then one day it just bursts open and you have your flower petals, and it's really pretty for a while, and then after a certain amount of time the plant will die and wilt and start all over again. Maybe it will come up again, the flower will come up again in a few months. Some plants bloom and bloom all year long. Maybe it won't come back up for a whole year, and that's just depends on the plant. And the plant is like a circle, the life cycle of a plant. It's like a circle. You have your flower, and it goes back into the earth, like a lot of flowers, like tulips and daffodils. They have their bulb. You don't want to, once the plant dies and it's finished blooming, you don't want to dig it up again. You just leave it there, and then in a year it will come up again. So it's really fun to see. And then if we were at school, this I think is about like a lily. It shows you the inside of the flower, which I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so I'm not sure, I was telling you about some great flower books. There's so many online. There's one by, let's see, Ruth Heller, who's the lady who wrote The Reason for a Flower. But when I looked online, there's so many great ones. And you can, like I said the other day, you can go online and your parents can maybe, you can have somebody read it to you, okay? So I'm going to put my book away because I've got lots of other things to do. I went out in my garden and I found lots of flowers here. Lots of flowers. And then maybe after the video, I'll put them in a vase and make a little flower arrangement. But I found this one. I think this is a geranium. And you can kind of see these flowers have bloomed, but then you have all the little flower buds that are under there that, well, they would have bloomed if I hadn't picked it. I'm not sure if they will now. I can put it in water and kind of do a little science experiment to see if these little flower buds, if I left it on the plant, they would have turned into other flowers. But I'm going to do a little science experiment too to see if maybe with sun and water they will still bloom even though they're not attached to the plant. We have our nice long stems and our flower buds. Let's see, I have another flower here. not really sure where I picked this from. Oh, I think I picked it from this plant here, which I believe is a camellia. We have red camellias in our yard, and we have pink, and we have azaleas, and a lot of these flowers right now are in bloom, and this one smells really good. So does this one. You might have this one in your yard. It's jasmine, and it smells really, really sweet, really nice. Oh, here's a bigger camellia that I picked. So this flower has bloomed already, and probably, and you see it has nice big waxy leaves there. I can show you the underside of it. And then inside you see the little stamen and the pistil and things like that. This is where the insects go to come and pollinate the flowers. So without our insects, they're so important to our flowers. We would not have any flowers without insects. And that's why it's a good idea maybe not to squash that bug you see, because maybe it'll go in your yard and help your yard have more flowers or fruit. Anyway, this is a beautiful flower. Now this one I can put in a vase, but there's no new buds or anything there, so I doubt anything would happen. It's just gonna get old and eventually die. But that's okay. That's the life cycle of a flower. Oh, I was gonna trick you guys. This is a fake flower, but it kind of looks real, but you can tell because you can't usually do that with a stem. It won't come off. But fake flowers are pretty to look at. Oh, and this last one it's a little daisy. And I know a lot of you like daisies. And I like the colors. The center part is white, and then there's purple around it. You see some other little buds that would have come up. Oh, and here, look at, you can see maybe the little root system. Okay, so those are my beautiful flowers, and they really smell great. So now we are going to paint. I've got some watercolor paint paper here, okay, and I've got all this watercolor that I brought from school. And maybe you have like a little tray with watercolor. These are actually tubes right here. Little kind of cool tubes of watercolor. Now that is a white, so I didn't use that one. But they're little, you squish the paint in, you squeeze the paint in like this. Like this is our yellow, like the color sweater I'm wearing. And then you add a little water to it, just a little bit of water, just a little bit of water. And then you can take a spoon or a stick or something and you can stir it up, and then you've got your watercolor. Okay, so I have one more I need to add to. I mixed two greens, kind of like we did the other day. I'm going to mix that one up, and then I'm going to get my watercolor brushes, and I'm going to paint a picture. What shall we paint a picture from? So sometimes you get your inspiration to paint a flower from like an actual flower over here. These were picked from my yard. They're very pretty purple flowers. Or maybe you can just pick a flower and you can look at it as you're painting it. Sometimes you can get an idea to paint a flower from a picture. This is a picture somebody gave me a long time ago. You can see all the little yellow flowers there. Or like this right here. This dish towel has some flowers on it. And this pillow has some flowers too. That's why I bought it. I liked it. So I'm going to get my brushes. I have two kinds of brushes that I got from our class. I got a very thin brush and a thick brush. So, what shall I paint? Do you have any ideas? Maybe I'll paint this like orange one here. Or I'll make it kind of red because I don't really have an orange, okay? So I'm going to dip my brush in, okay? And then I'm going to, I think this time I'll kind of paint some leaves this way and that way. And, you know, watercolor is kind of fun because you can just have fun with it. Well, that kind of looks like a flower, don't you think? I like that. I like that a lot. All right, and then maybe I need to make a center for it. So I think for the center, I'll use the smaller brush. So I have some napkins here. I'm actually I can use my water to wash the brushes in between, and then just kind of dry it on the towel or a napkin or something like that. Kind of looks like watermelon juice, doesn't it? That sounds yummy. All right, so now let's see, what color should the center of the flower be? Well, the leaves are probably going to be green. Let's try this. This is another red that I found in those tubes. And let's see, let's put that right in the center here. Oh, there we go. I like that. I like that a lot. Maybe I'll make another little darker flower down here with that color. Okay. There we go. Doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be perfect, right, when we do art. Okay, I'm going to mix that red in there. Now it's even a deeper red. Looks like a tomato red to me. Okay, and then I'm going to just put it on my little napkin here, wipe it off. I think I'm going to add, with the thin brush, I'm going to add some little inside, kind of like this picture here. Do you see the inside of the very inside is the yellow inside the flower bud? So I kind of like that. I'm going to take my yellow and I'm gonna just make some marks in the middle. Probably not going to be quite as dark, but that's okay. And it's running because I'm trying to show you. As I'm painting here, and I have to kind of keep it up. It is running down the page, but that's okay. That's the kind of fun thing about watercolor is I have a helper here, as you can see. Is you can kind of, it's kind of fun just to let it run and see what happens. Okay, there's my yellow to my inside. Okay. Now I'm going to do my green leaves. I think I am going to use the little brush because of the yellow. I got to take the flowers away from my cats. They're chewing them. So let's see. Let's make I'm going to dip it into there. I'm going to make my stems. I'm going to have to get my kitty cat out of the way because nobody can see the picture. Okay, so I'm going to make my stems for my flower. And maybe I'll keep this flower picture and frame it and title it the COVID-19 flower. I just made a new species. Okay, and then I've got my nice big leaves here. Now with this, with the watercolor, you can see it's a little darker. I didn't really add much water to it. So the more water I add to it, the lighter it's going to be, right? So maybe we'll do this one. I'll cover up some of those lines. I can even put a little bit of green in the middle, just some little dots or something. Maybe those can be starts of the little seeds and things. Okay, and I could make some lines like you see in the flowers. Okay. All right, so I think I'm done with that, except for it's kind of fun to mix the colors at the same time. Gonna make it a little bit darker. But now maybe I'll use my brown. Actually, I'll use brown at the end. Maybe I'll add some blue for the sky. Let's see what color this is here. And I can just make some blue here. And just kind of, the nice thing about watercolors, you can spread it out really easy. Okay, and I can make it, this is going to be our sky here. And because we're going to pretend like the plants are outside in the dirt, right? Okay, a little bit more over here. And then maybe I'll try my other blue. I have another blue here. It's supposed to be like a really blue. And I'll put that on top. Wow, that is a lot bluer. And I'm just going to spread it all out right there. Whoa. Now that has a little more water in it, I can tell. But that's okay. That's the fun thing about watercolor. All right, so now I'm ready for my last color. Ooh, but let's add, I can't resist the urge to add the blue in there. I bet if I put a little bit more blue, I'm gonna make what color? Red and blue make purple. Oh yay, I just made purple. All right, so now I'm gonna make brown. I'm not really worried about brown because that's what we make if we mix all the colors together, right? Gonna add a little bit of dirt there. And as you can see, my kitty cats are very interested in this picture. I think I'm done. I think I'm done with my picture. What do you think? Do you like it? I like it. Then I was thinking that after you're done with all your painting, there's other things in the house you can paint. So I have a beautiful plant that our friend Nathan gave me for my birthday last year. I could take my brush and I could paint. Let me mix that out here. Maybe I could paint a little bit of, I could paint a little cloud there and something like that. Now certain surfaces, this is probably not a good surface for watercolor because see how it kind of beads up. So maybe I won't do Nathan. I love your flower, but maybe I won't paint the flower pot. You could use an old plate that you have laying around. See if that works. Let's see if that works. I'll use the bigger brush here. Maybe I'll paint a plate and I'll just make some circles. Oh, once again, I can see that this plate doesn't really work because it needs to soak in, right? Let's see if there's other things that will help it soak in. I just got the paint is a little drippy here. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to try something different. Let's see. Oh, how about a cotton ball? Do you think the cotton ball? I wouldn't really paint. I would more dip. Let's dip it in. Let's dip it in. Oh, and look what happens. And then I could even use the cotton ball to paint my picture. Wouldn't that be fun? Kind of instead of a paintbrush there. Okay. What else do I have here? Oh, I have a banana. Can you paint a banana? You can if you want. Let's see. Let's do a dark color. Maybe I'll make a face on the banana. I'll make a funny face. I'll put that there. And let's see, a little bit darker here maybe. And give him some hair. Well, maybe you should have brown hair, right? Look it, I made a banana face. Then I can peel it and eat it later, right? You can paint all sorts of things. I found a clothespin here because I hang my clothes outside, and that is definitely a good thing to paint because it's wood. It will soak it up, that paint, right? How about this? I have one of these laying around. Let's see if it's cork. And cork is usually pretty porous, so that works, right? I can make a little toy for my kitty cats with that. So just go around your house and see, ask your mom and dad and see if there's some things you can paint. Even a napkin, you could make a painting on just a plain white napkin. Okay, let's see. Let me make Let me make a, let's see, what did I make? Yay, I made a heart. I made a heart. That was fun. Okay, ladybugs, I hope you had a good time making a watercolor picture with me and learning a little bit about all of our beautiful flowers. And maybe you can go out in your yard and ask your mom and dad if you could pick a few flowers and you could put them in a vase and arrange them, and then you could maybe take some paper and make a watercolor picture out of them. Okay, that sounds like a fun day. Okay, have a great day. And tomorrow is Friday, so that is the day when hopefully we're all going to get to see each other virtually. Okay, have a great day, ladybugs. Love you, miss you. See you later. I'm going to turn off the camera.